So today, let's talk about funeral policies and life policies. That thing that you don't want to pay, and you look at it and you say, "What's this extra cost here? I don't even plan on dying." And then you go into a pandemic, and then that thing becomes important. You're so grateful that you didn't just like, ah, I've buried a few people in my time. When I say I've buried a few people, I mean I've been wholly responsible. In one case, I was contacted and told that I need to come to the house. This person has died, and they've left they've left everything to me. And when I say everything, I mean they left everything for me to take care of. So I had to go release the body. I had to go to the mortuary. I had to go release the body. I had to make sure. I had to organize the funeral. I was probably in my early 20s. The person who passed away was a friend of my father, and the only person he trusted was my father. And when my father left South Africa to live with my mother in England, he then said to me, he called me and he said to me, if anything happens, like in life, your father's the only person I trust, so I'm gonna leave just for you to help take care of things. I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? No one's gonna, think people are gonna pass away here. And he had a young daughter, and at the time, you just don't think it's gonna happen, and it did happen. And then the pastor of the church called me. I had to go to the house, sort of the documents, identify the body, like go through the whole process of arranging a funeral. Go to his workplace, go to his locker at his workplace, collect the things from his locker, see if there was money from work, try collect money from the funeral policy. What a big story. I had to go to Merebank. I remember someone still told me, you must know I'm like early 20s here. Someone still told me, if you go to Merebank, there's a guy, he got a big pot in the back there, and he cooks. The pots, the cooks with a big stomach, those are the ones they cook the best, right? So I went there to Merebank. There's a nice greasy belly there. He gave me a price. I treated him hundreds. He said he'll cook it at the church. He came there, he cooked after the funeral, organized. Church was very helpful. Pastor was very helpful. I did the proceeding, like, not the proceeding, like the emceeing leg of the thing. Cried a lot because this person who passed away was a huge part of my upbringing in my childhood. He was an ever present. He was my father's friend who was always there. We'd go to his house and watch football, on a like Champions League football when Arsenal was still in the Champions League. We'd go watch football. When Man United played Arsenal in the FA Cup semi-final in 1999, when Ryan Giggs scored that goal, we were at his house watching that game. He was a Chelsea supporter. My father's a United supporter. I'm an Arsenal supporter. So this man was really like a huge part. He was an ever present. Your father's friend or your mother's friend is just always there. That's who Mike Joseph was. And so when he passed away, it was a strange realization that organizing a funeral is something that many people, especially that age, have never thought of, because they always tell you that the older people sort it out. And so I had to really step up very quickly and learn how it worked. And a lot of people were quite assisting. We couldn't find much family. It's one of those things, and I guess that's partly why he asked me, is because he didn't have much family I didn't know any of his family, to be honest, until the funeral. And even then, one or two people appeared. And so it was a complete shock to me, just the whole process of organizing a funeral. And so I know this trauma firsthand. It happened the second time. This is afterwards. I'm one of those people. I got a call. My father's sister passed away, and she lived in Mtulumi, and I got a call from some cousins that lived out in that area. And they said to me, your auntie passed away, and you must come sort it out. And for me, that was a weird thing, right? Because to be honest, I didn't know her very well. My father's family, for those of you who follow the story, they all grew up separately, all his siblings. So I didn't know her. I think I'd met her maybe twice in my whole life. And she lived in rural KZN, in Mtulumi on the south coast. And so I had to go down there and organize the funeral. And I remember contacting my two other aunties, my father's other sisters, and they were so upset. They were mad. They're like, how can they phone you? You're a child. How can they ask a child to come do the funeral? So we kind of, as a group, myself and my aunties, went down, looked at the situation, and I've got it in one of my jokes, a true story. We buried her in the yard because there was no funeral policies, there was nothing organized. So we basically had to all club together And I remember the lady still said to me, the men in the community will dig the hole and you're going to buy them kombucha. You have to bring food for the people around the area. I don't even know if all that is even true, but that's what we did. And so that's what we did. We buried my auntie there. And I remember organizing the food. The one auntie didn't want to eat the rice because she only eats basmati rice. And she's telling me I don't eat, but I'm like, I'm a young person at that point. I've just started working or whatever the case. This is like, I can't be buying like special rice, but she only ate basmati rice anyway, whatever. And so the trauma of organizing a funeral is something I know firsthand. However, what I don't really know is what it must feel like to have a policy in place, to be paying month after month, someone to pass away, to go to the funeral parlor and they say they don't have the money, or worse, they completely duck, because we are in a period now where that is what's happening. For those of you who saw the piece I shared yesterday, funeral parlors are filing for bankruptcy because they actually cannot pay, which is contrary to the way I saw it and probably the way you saw it too, because we all thought that this is one business that is booming, that is like doing very well at this point in time. Apparently not, because we pay the money every month to them and they don't expect all the people paying to have someone who died at the same time. And that is kind of what's happened. And someone wrote on the page in Port Shepstone, one company, just a funeral company, just closed the door and ran away. And that was it. Phones off, quiet. People are now stuck with no money in a pandemic trying to bury family members. It is terrible. And you have the right, especially if you've been paying, to be protected. What protection is there for anyone who's been paying a premium to a funeral parlor or to a funeral company? Now we are here and you don't have any cover. The same with life policies. I am worried about so many people waiting for life policies, because not every company that offers life policies offers legit, is above board. And especially a lot of us get taken because we see cheaper premiums. This is the moment where the rubber meets the road. What has been your experience? For those of you who've had to bury people, has it been easy to get the money out of your funeral policies and life policies? How long are they making you wait? Or are they finding clauses? Insurance companies are snakes at finding clauses that say, this person had raised sugar levels, but they never said they had diabetes, but they got raised sugar levels. And they kind of just slither out of things. Guys, let's make sure that all these policies are in place, that they're correctly done, because when the time comes, there's going to be tears. And I'm sure that some of you will explain there already has been. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day.